Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth Gabrielson. Welcome back to my home kitchen. I hope you're having a really great week. I'm very excited because I am sharing with you a really fun, cool recipe. A recipe that was developed by a woman named Rachel Mansfield. Now she wrote the coolest thing because she has converted our beloved cheeseburgers that we all know and love, especially that during the summertime, into a sheet pan version. So not only is this cool just to switch it up, but it's cool to take us into these cooler months that we have ahead when maybe you don't want to be grilling, but you still want those flavorful tastes of the summer. Now, this is especially awesome in part two because it combines veggies. So hidden veggies are in these sheet pan burgers packed with flavor, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps, okay? So, of course, we're starting with our Spring Creek Farm ground beef. This is key. It is awesome. It is the best quality we can find. Now, this can be made in two ways. Let me walk you through the two options so that you know what you're doing when you go to the market to shop. So, I'm going to double this recipe. So that means I am going to use 2 pounds of ground beef. It is going to fill, once I add my veggies and all the goodies I'll talk you through, it's going to fill this half sheet pan. This is considered a half sheet pan. It's going to fill the whole thing. Now, that's because I want leftovers. I want lunch. I want dinner tomorrow. I want a grab and go snack. And it's something that I really, really love, having high quality protein prepped and ready for me throughout my week. So I am going to use this, and that is for 2 pounds of beef. Now, if you are in a smaller house, by all means, get 1 pound of beef and use a quarter sheet pan, okay? Believe it or not, it will fill this after we add in our zucchini and whatnot. But I'm gonna walk you through the doubling. I'm gonna walk you through the 2 pounds. It's something that I think you'll really love. And I really push this with my clients and my friends and family and all the people I love, that it's so important to think ahead for the next meal. And so if we're cooking once and we're doing the dishes, why not just use the same ingredients, just doubled, and enjoy it another couple of times, okay? So that's what I'm doing. So 2 pounds of ground beef from the farm, okay? Let me just drain mine off real quick. Okay, so I have 2 pounds of our ground beef. To that, I am going to add 4 eggs. Okay, this is like so perfect. A recipe that's all the farm, okay? 4 eggs, and it goes. Okay, easy. 2 grated zucchinis. Now I let these drain for like 15 minutes while I was getting set up. 15 minutes, and I squeezed out the excess moisture with a paper towel, okay? So 2 zucchini, in they go. You can also use summer squash, okay? Both are in peak season right now. When I'm recording this, it's like the first week of August, and they are rocking and rolling, okay? So they will have no issue finding some summer squash at all, okay? So put that in there. We have a cup of shredded cheese. Now you can use mozzarella, you can use cheddar, you can use Havarti, you can use all kinds of cheese. And the good news is, what do you know, no surprise here, there are a couple of delicious cheese options in the refrigerator of the market. So this one is a cheddar cheese. It is raw. It is grass-fed from grass-fed organic milk. It is just fabulous. So there are a few options for you there. So grab a pack of that, or 2 or 3, because you also might just want some extra on top. Yep. Okay, so cheese, that goes in. The next thing we're going to add, this is so simple, I love walking you through this. The next thing we're going to add is about 3/4, 2/3 cup of some marinara sauce, okay? This can also just be some crushed tomatoes. You can get some jarred goodies, pasta sauce, also at the market, okay, using our preserved tomatoes, of course, okay? So in that one goes. Next, we are going to add, because I love the extra fiber that she added in here and the protein, this is about 3/4 cup, I believe. No, 2/3. This is supposed to be 2/3. Yes, cup of almond flour. Okay, you can sub a regular flour, or you can use like a almond meal or something, but we need some sort of a binder. And I love that this is just ground almonds, which allows us to have even more protein and fiber. Like I said, heart healthy fats. Okay, so in that goes. That's like your equivalent of a breadcrumb. Okay, so if you have something like Italian seasoned breadcrumbs in your pantry, you don't have almond flour, that's an easy swap, and I give you permission to do that. No problem at all, don't stress it, okay? So the next thing, there are these beautiful red onions at the market right now, and The recipe calls for shallots, but you know, the market doesn't have shallots this particular week. So I got a bunch of these red onions and they are delicious and gorgeous. And this is the perfect amount, okay? One of these diced up nice and small, and those are gonna go in the bowl. Okay, this is so simple. The only thing I have left to use is some dried basil, okay? You may also absolutely chop some fresh basil, okay? You can get that at the farm, of course. But if you're using dried or you're rewatching this during the winter months and you don't have access to fresh, no problem. You're gonna add a couple tablespoons of dried, okay? And if there's an herb blend that you really enjoy that you think would be good in your cheeseburgers, feel free to experiment with that, because things like oregano is a wonderful substitution or an addition. Sometimes some Italian herbal blends are wonderful. Also think about maybe switching it up. Maybe you want a Middle Eastern spice blend. Maybe you want you could almost have these be like curry spice burgers, okay? It could have za'atar, a Middle Eastern one with some sesame seeds in it. So think about that, and maybe each time you try something a little new, okay? Now I'm not even adding salt and pepper to this right now, because I have, luckily, the cheese, which imparts so much of that flavor for us. But you can, by all means, if you want to, garlic powder, some salt and pepper, you can add to that, okay? I'm getting us started with this spatula just to give it a heads up, but then I'm gonna really just get right in there, okay? Be sure it gets all blended together really well. Now, my oven is preheating. It's set to 425 degrees. That means that in 30 minutes, like no time flat, these will be ready, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread these out to fill to the edges my sheet pan, which is so unusual, right? Think about this, but it's so cool. I'm going to have this in just a second, fill this, so that then we have burger patties that I'll cut and give to each person. It's fun to then make that into a burger bar. You know, you can have pickles, we can have relish, of course, like ketchup and mustard. You can have buns, you can have no buns, you can just have veggies from the farm, okay? You can have hot sauces and avocado and like all the things you can think of to add, you know, lettuce wraps, but it keeps really nicely, and it's a really fun way to switch it up, okay? So I've given it as much as it can that way, and now I'm just gonna combine it with my hands, like very meatloaf style, okay? In this way, in all the best ways, right? I have a couple of great meatloaf recipes. Maybe I'll bring those to you this winter, okay? They are not your grandma's meatloaf recipe, unless of course you actually do like your grandma's meatloaf recipe, okay? There are mixed feelings out there. Totally mixed. All right, look at that. So I have my red onion, I have my delicious cheese, and of course, speckled in here, the beautiful green shredded zucchini, okay? That really gives it that bulk, okay? Some hydration, a fiber, all the nutrients that we want from our produce, okay? It is ready to go. Now let me show you what I'm going to do. I am going to spread this out here onto my sheet pan. Now, don't be shy. You can, of course, be using a spoon for this if this is like not your, not your jam. I do not judge. Whatever works for you. Now, if you also want to kick, while you're mixing this, you can add some hot sauce. You can add some mustard. You can add some red pepper flakes. So if you're my spice lover and you're looking for the heat, then mix that stuff in now. Or, you know, while you're mixing before you spread it out. Unless, of course, you want to put some red pepper flakes here on top, that's fine. So as you saw, I had cheese mixed in to the meat mixture, but after about 30 minutes, I'm going to blot the grease off of this. It comes off. Now there's not a ton because, you know, remember this is lean grass-fed beef from the farm, but there will be some. And then I'm gonna add a coating of some additional sprinkled, you know, shredded cheese on top. Put it in for another 10 minutes to just let it get melty and delicious. And then you are all set. Okay, sheet pan burgers. I will take a picture and send them to you all, and we can post that going right in. Isn't that awesome? All right, so happy cooking, happy meal prepping, happy like getting creative and thinking outside the box. here in the kitchen, and I hope you love it. It's delicious, and I can't wait to hear from you, all right? So enjoy your day. See you at the farm.